इंडिया पाकिस्तान डिवीजन का रेफरेंडम से होता, करेक्ट और नॉट? रेफरेंडम. This question is there. You have to utilize information content that you are getting from the governance part only. Clear this? So ये हम just बता रहे हैं how to interlink okay each other's chapters. ऐसा नहीं कि question is coming only from the social justice. Then clear? So then in your social justice question is there, you have to utilize information content that you are getting from the governance part only. Clear this? So ये हम just बता रहे हैं how to interlink okay each other's chapters. ऐसा नहीं कि question is coming only from the social justice, then you are not going to use any information from the governance part. You have to give various dimensions in the GS paper. That is the reason they are included in GS paper 2 together. Clear? Now, if we go to the syllabus, first important that section is there, important aspects of governance. Of governance. यहाँ से maximum questions आपके आते हैं, important aspects of governance. Other topics भी like role of civil service and democracy, self-help group, civil society, citizen charter, right to information, transparency, accountability. These things are also there, but important basic, important aspects of governance. Clear? So यहाँ पे we are going to discuss basically first important questions. What is governance? What is governance? Correct. So governance means it is coming from the word that is, for example, govern. Govern means to rule. Correct. And one more term will come, that is government. So government means basically group of people. Correct. Government is nothing but group of people, and these group of people, they are ruling, and the outcome will be then governance. Correct. So government is क्या है? Group of people. They are the government, like elected individuals. We the people of India elected the correct individuals. So for example, it may be Prime Minister, Council of Minister, President, CM. Correct. Different individuals also, even civil servants also, bureaucrats, all are together. They are the part of this government. Even peoples are also the part of government. For example, local self-government, 73rd and 74th Amendment. Peoples are also ruling, so they are also the part of this government. Correct. So government basically आपका क्या है? It is just like an institution. Correct. It is an institution. This institution is available most of the places. चाहे वो Afghanistan, Taliban, peoples are there also. They are also ruling. चाहे India हो, peoples are ruling. They are also, or USA हो. Correct. But governance will not be there everywhere. Correct. Governance term is positive only. The governance term is positive. Correct. So per se this governance term hai, it is basically a positive terms only. Means governance means something good actually. but हुआ क्या है कि in some of the places में government was also there and they are actually utilizing the authority, but still outcome was not good. Because of that we came with good governance and bad governance. समझ गए? Good governance and bad governance. So first important is government means institutions. अब ये institutions, how they are actually utilizing the power, correct? How they are utilizing the power, how they are delivering the public service to the people, that is going to decide this governance, whether governance is good or bad. For example, in your kitchen, for example, kitchen. So kitchen में for example ingredients are available already. अब जरूरी नहीं कि every individual actually they are utilizing the same ingredient, but still recipe may be different actually. Then the taste may be different. So some same ingredient still taste is bad. Same ingredient still taste was good. Correct or not? So that is good governance and bad governance. So ingredients hai, that is institutions. The people actually, those who are actually making that recipe, they are the group of people, that is government. And how you are utilizing that actually ingredient, that is a process. If that process is good, then only the outcome will be good only. That is governance. So governance basically just like a process. Correct? Process किसका है? How to utilize the authority. Correct? Authority. Correct? That is governance. क्लियर है? जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल अब क्वेश्चन आता है कि इंडिया में गवर्नेंस अच्छा है या नहीं, whether it is good or bad. So you will going to consider in what manner. For example, you will look around you. The roads infrastructure is properly there or not. If roads are properly built, traffic is not there, correct, or traffic management is super. Or for example, whenever you are visiting the government hospitals, you are getting okay government schools, that is also teachers are there, properly classes conducted, so everything is good. Then आप नहीं बोलोगे governance is good now, correct? And then definitely whatever the political party is ruling and they are going for the election, definitely are going to give that political party only. Because of these parameters, everything is going, the certificate will be given to you. आपने application दिया, after 5 days you are visiting the office again within 5 days you got the certificate. आपको लगेगा तो governance अच्छा है. So that is what governance is. People actually perception of governance is this, how your public service delivery systems happen to you. That is governance. Like example on Amazon or Flipkart or any e-commerce website, when you purchase something, जैसे आप परचेस करते हो immediately they provide the timeline कि this particular day पे between this time पे the product will going to be delivered. अगर उससे half an hour भी लेट हो गया तो आप तुरंत कॉल कर देते हो कस्टमर केयर को, करेक्ट? And response is also proper. So the transparency is there. So उन्होंने एक timeline they have given. And if that product has not been delivered within this stipulated time, to call to the customer care and this e-commerce is good actually. If you are not getting product in the quality that you were actually expecting, then you will get the refund also. Then only again you are going to purchase something from that e-commerce website, correct or not? So that is the good governance of that e-commerce website. Same thing will happen with the government also. Clear hai? So government basically koi aur nahi hai, they are the group of people only, those who access the power, those who are actually using that power in delivering the public service. And then will come the governance. Governance is good governance or bad governance. For example, agar transparency is there, transparency, that means it is a good governance. Accountability is there, it means it is a good governance only, correct? Responsiveness is there, it is also good governance. Efficiency is there, good governance. Effectiveness there, good governance. Consensus oriented is there, good governance. Rule of law is there, it is also good governance, correct? So all these parameters, if all are existing there, then we can say that there is a good governance is there. So first you understood this good governance and the government, the difference between governance and the government. So government is basically the infrastructure, the institutions or the group of people, and governance is the process and the outcome, correct? Clear hai? अभी दिक्कत ये है कि फॉर एग्जांपल कि वेदर दिस गवर्नेंस जो है ना, इट इज delivered only by the government or other stakeholders also should be there. So alone government is not able to deliver the governance. It is not possible because government is having some limited resources also. They are not having unlimited resources. Whatever they want they can do. No, limited resources because of the budget constraints. So then what will come? Market will going to participate, that is private sector. So private sector is also part of governance, correct? Abhi market is there, but market will going to deliver the service to whom? Only to those people who can pay the fees, the price. If those vulnerable sections, if they are not able to pay the price, then they will not get the service delivered, correct? Market will not be there in that area jahan pe, for example, profit is not there. And government ke paas limited resources hai, for example, in the form of human resources. So government also cannot reach in that locations, those which are in remote areas or those locations which in conflicted areas like Naxalite areas. So government also will not go. So in these areas, who will come? Civil society, correct? Civil society organizations will come into picture. So they will going to deliver the service from the market as well as from the government to those remote areas like Naxalite areas, conflicted areas. So that means civil society organization is also the part of governance. So governance will be delivered not alone by the government, but also by the civil society organizations as well as market as well as state, all the three together only. So governance is not possible alone by the government. इतना clear हुआ? Civil society, yes, NGOs आप बोल सकते हो, correct? इतना clear हुआ अभी? So first clear is what is governance, correct? So governance is basically the utilizing the authority by the group of people who are ruling actually, correct? So आप definition लिख सकते हो governance if you want to write the definition. So this definition has been given by basically World Bank. क्या हुआ था कि World Bank was giving lot of donations, correct, to various African continental countries, but result was dismissal completely. That means outcome was not that great, even though they were giving so much of money to them. Even government was also there in those African nations. Government was there, but still result was not great. So they were searching this thing. What was the reason is, even though we are providing so much money, because they were claiming that we were not having that much of financial resources. Because of that, we were not able to deliver the public service to the people. So World Bank has given the money. So now what was the reason is there? So then they find out the reason is this: those who are ruling there, they are not utilizing the authority properly. The manner in which they are exercising the power, that was not in a very democratic manner. That was not a transparent manner. That means those people, they were not responsive. यहाँ पे जाके then World Bank has given the definition of governance in 1992. So अभी आप लिख सकते हो, the World Bank has given the definition in 1992. So definition क्या था? Definition is this: governance is the manner. Governance is the manner in which power is exercised. Governance is the manner in which power is exercised in the management of a country's. Governance is the manner in which power is exercised in the management of a country's economic and social resources for development. country's economic and social resources for development. Clear हुआ अभी? So that is governance is. Or you can extend this also. That means the manner in which, the manner, next line again you can write, the manner in which public officials and the institutions, public officials and the institutions acquire and exercise the authority, acquire and exercise the authority to shape public policy, to shape public policy and provide public goods and services, to shape public policy and provide public goods and services. अब यहाँ पे फॉर एग्जाम्पल वन टर्म केम public policy, correct? So government basically launched so many policies actually. Example, national education policy that government came up, correct? After around 20-25 years. Last time it came in 1980s only, and now they came with this policies. So first important policy होता क्या? What is the policy is? First is policy के दो important parameters होते हैं. One is policy formulation. Another is policy implementation. This two, correct? So policy formulation होता है, this basically the task of political executive. Political executive in the sense we can call that Prime Minister, CM, Council of Minister, Cabinet Ministers, all these. And policy implementation is, it is a work of civil servant. Or sometimes we call permanent executive. Permanent executive. They. Correct? Permanent executive. अभी क्या होता है कि these guys, they always blame on them. They are not formulating the policy properly. Means they are not understanding the ground realities. And these guys blame them actually. We are formulating the policies properly, but you people not implementing the policy. Correct? So whenever someone became the secretary, for example, person got retired at the secretary, like secretary from the education department or school secretary or something, because now that guy is a secretary, so he will be here actually. So this guy always blame here. But when till the point he is district magistrate, then he actually blame this guy. So that is the thing. This is how we shift actually our responsibility. Correct or not? We never actually take blame on ourselves. For example, you people also. Correct? हमने पढ़ाई नहीं किया, टीचर ने नहीं पढ़ाया, that is their responsibility. इंस्टीट्यूट में क्लास नहीं हुआ, उनका जिम्मेदारी है. लेकिन हमने क्या किया खुद? We never actually focus. So first important, we need to take or accept that some problems जो है create हुआ है, हमने भी किया है ना. That is a problem here also. They are not accepting each other's problems. Problem दोनों side, ऐसा नहीं है कि they also made the mistake and they also made the mistake. अभी important है, what is public policy is basically. See, policy कितना time लगता, how much time it takes to make a policy. See, policy can be made within 1 month also. And policy sometimes take even 6 years, 7 years to formulate. Like example, आप education policy की बात कर लो recently. अब education policy का जो draft था, it has taken 6 years to prepare. क्योंकि इतना immediate requirement नहीं था. So धीरे धीरे they formulate committees and then they formulate the draft. अब वही COVID time में we have seen they were formulating the policies within 1 month, even within 10 days, even immediately, because emergency situation was there. Correct? अब policy होता क्या है? Policy is nothing but ideas actually. The articulation of ideas in very organized manner. That is policy. Public policy is nothing but organization of ideas. Whatever the ideas. See, idea can come from anywhere. Idea can come from the Prime Minister himself or herself, correct? Prime Minister can say that I want this thing. You people need to draft it, how to prepare it. So this idea is coming from the Prime Minister. Idea can come from any ministers also. Like example, road and transport minister like Nitin Gadkari sometimes give there should not be any toll, GPS based we are going to cut. So this is an idea actually. So this idea will not going to be fructified, going to take some time. So that is a policy. So policy ideas can come from any quarter actually. Sometimes क्या होता है कि government or prime minister he himself asked the secretary कि you are secretary from this department around for 5 to 6 years. तुम्हें क्या लगता है what policy we need to bring out? Then he will going to provide the idea. Then based on that idea, the entire ministry is going to work. That is public policy. Public policy is nothing but decisions, correct? Whatever the decisions government is going to take, that is a public policy only, correct? Even not to take a decision is also a public policy. So Atal Bihari Vajpayee once has said actually in parliament to Narasimha Rao, if this government is going to take decision, this is also policy. When they never take a decision, this is also their policy only, correct? Because आप decision नहीं ले रहे हो, इसका मतलब आपने already decision ले लिया है, correct or not? So not to take a decision is also a public policy. Clear or not? So that is public policy. So public policy में क्या होता है कि no matter whatever the policy is there, ultimate approval will come from the cabinet only. Correct? Ultimate approval of the public policy will be given by the cabinet, no matter who is going to make the policy. But final approval will be given by cabinet only. So that is what political executive. A policy बनती कैसे? For example, when government like prime minister is having one idea or anyone is having a one idea, then what they are going to do is they are going to make a group of ministers. Group of ministers, correct? आपने सुना होगा cabinet committees. Cabinet committees से पहले होता था group of ministers. Now that work is done by cabinet committees only. So one particular cabinet committee will going to be tasked with that particular policy, and then they are going to discuss, they are going to formulate, they are going to sometimes make some committees. That committees will be headed by some retired bureaucrats, correct? And these retired bureaucrats, they are going to draft a plan, and then that plan will come before the cabinet committees, and then cabinet committees के बाद it will come from the cabinet meetings, correct? Then cabinet meetings के time पे cabinet is going to put an approval, तभी वो committee approve. इसलिए आपने देखा होगा some particular bill is there, bill gets approval from the cabinet. ऐसा headline आता है ना, bill gets approval from the cabinet. This particular policy gets approval from the cabinet. So cabinet ने approval दे दिया, that means now it is final. So कोई भी policy हो, final approval will be given by the cabinet only. Clear? अभी कोई भी policy whenever they are going to make, how to judge whether that policy will be successful or not? Correct? जरूरी नहीं कि every policy will be successful. तो उसमें कई parameters होते हैं, based on that we can decide that policy is successful or not. First important होता है कि जो भी आप policy बना रहे हो, whatever the policy, it should be politically acceptable होनी चाहिए. अगर politically acceptable नहीं है, then no matter what the good intention you are having with that policy will going to fail. Correct? For example, reservation. अगर ये बोला जाए कि reservation should be there or not, then many of the individuals they will say reservation हटा दो अभी, merit based issue, correct? But whether it is a politically acceptable, even when you, for example, you are completely against the reservation, आपका नजरिया क्योंकि आपको नहीं मिल रहा है, correct? So that is the reason you are against, because that is the problem with reservation is those who are getting they will support, those who are not getting they will oppose. Middle ground पे कोई भी नहीं है, correct? So even though you are completely against the reservation, when you are going to become the prime minister, आप भी हटा नहीं पाओगे, correct? आंसर शीट में लिखना इजी है, correct? क्योंकि मारधाड़ वायलेंस नहीं होगा, आपने लिख भी दिया. बट यहाँ पे पॉलिटिकली एक्सेप्टेबल इट शुड बी, करेक्ट? पॉलिटिकली एक्सेप्टेबल अगर हो भी गया फॉर एग्जांपल, उसके बाद से नेक्स्ट सोशली डिजायरेबल. करेक्ट? कि जिसके लिए पॉलिसी बना रहे हो ना, दे आल्सो शुड एक्सेप्ट इट. उनको ही नहीं चाहिए. लाइक एग्जांपल farm law that government actually brought earlier, 3 farm law, so that income of farmers can be doubled. अब फार्मर्स को ही नहीं चाहिए वो. That means, see, otherwise if you see whatever those three law were there, they were technically sound, and उससे farmers की situation definitely अच्छी हो जाती है compared to earlier. But government failed actually to communicate properly to the farmers what they are going to do, and because of that it became not socially desirable. Correct or not? So next is socially desirable should be there. Third, टेक्निकल फिजिबल भी होना चाहिए कि टेक्निकली वी नीड ऐसी होना चाहिए सो दैट वी कैन यूटिलाइज द टेक्नोलॉजी आल्सो. टेक्निकल फिजिबल, लाइक एग्जांपल, आप एजुकेशन पॉलिसी लेके आए, करेक्ट, एंड सम ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल दे आर, फॉर एग्जांपल आप ये क्लेम कर रहे हो कि वी आर नॉट एबल टू प्रोवाइड गुड एजुकेशन टू एवरीवन बिकॉज ऑफ वी आर नॉट हैविंग ए सफिशिएंट नंबर ऑफ टीचर्स. अब आप एक एनजीओ चलाने वाले आदमी, आपको कुछ पता नहीं है, फिर भी आप आके बोल दिए कि ये तो इजी काम है सर, क्योंकि इंटरनेट ऑलरेडी वी आर हैविंग, सब जगह टीवी लगवा दो, देन डायरेक्टली एक सेंट्रल पे बैठ के टीचर इज गोइंग टू टीच एवरीवन, तो सबको टीचर मिल जाए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है ना. बट वेदर दिस आइडिया इज feasible टेक्निकली, कि इंटरनेट इज अवेलेबल एट एवरी एरिया, रूरल एरिया में इंटरनेट इज देयर, तो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ही नहीं है तो इंटरनेट की क्या बात है, करेक्ट. सो दैट पॉलिसी विल गोइंग टू फेल और नॉट, इवन कितना भी अच्छा हो बट स्टिल इट इज फेल. पॉलिटिकली एक्सेप्टेबल भी है वो, लोग भी चाहते हैं ऐसा होना चाहिए, बट टेक्निकली नॉट feasible. करेक्ट. उसके बाद फाइनेंशियल वायबल. फाइनेंशियल वायबल इन द सेंस कि whether you are having financial viable, correct, that means sufficient funds are there or not. आपने पॉलिसी तो लॉन्च कर दी बट फंड्स आर नॉट रिलीज प्रॉपरली, so that policy is going to fail at some point of time. Like आपने एमजी नरेगा चला दिया, तो एमजी नरेगा पॉलिटिकली एक्सेप्टेबल डेफिनेटली है, सोशली डिजायरेबल भी है, टेक्निकली भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, उसमें इंटरनेट नहीं चाहिए, करेक्ट, बट फंड आप नहीं दे रहे हो उसमें. लाइक 40,000 crore रुपीज था, यू आर नॉट गिविंग, यू आर रिलीजिंग जस्ट 5,000 crore रुपीज, and with this 5,000 crore rupees you want to give 100 days of work to everyone. Is it possible? Not possible. So that is, it should be financial viable also. Without it policy will going to fail. Then like example of national education policy की बात करें, national education policy if you see on this ground politically acceptable है, किसी को प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, अच्छा एजुकेशन पॉलिसी है, socially desirable, yes, people also want, it should be changed now because it is already 20-25 years old policy है. टेक्निकल feasible भी है, we can implement this. अब फाइनेंशियल वायबल है नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी, because like example TSR Subramaniam committee report was there and various other committees reports were there. They were saying that government need to actually spend around 6% of the GDP in education. अगर सबको एजुकेशन चाहिए, एजुकेशन फॉर ऑल, then they need to spend कितना 6% of the GDP. But actually how much we are spending? 3.1% of the GDP. That means only 50%. So कितना भी sound education policy हो, until unless you are not going to increase the funding of this education policy, this policy is going to fail actually at one day. Correct or not? So that is financial viable. Correct? Administrative doable. एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव डूएबल क्या मतलब है कि यू मेड द पॉलिसी, नो प्रॉब्लम अबाउट इट, करेक्ट, आपने सो मेनी पॉलिसीज वो करेक्ट, बट एक्चुअली में वेदर यू आर हैविंग दैट मच ऑफ ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज टू इम्प्लीमेंट दैट पॉलिसी, वो भी आपके पास नहीं है, करेक्ट. लाइक यू आर रनिंग सो मेनी प्रोग्राम्स बट you are not having that many of government employees there to implement that program, correct, at the ground level. So then it will not be administrative doable until unless you are not having sufficient human resources. Ab suppose example, even though you are having human resources but they are not skilled enough to implement that policy, then also it is going to fail. So capacity building also should be there for those individuals. So next is this administrative doable. उसके बाद और क्या हो सकता है? Judicial deniable. Judicial deniable in the sense जुडिशरी मना ना कर पाए, करेक्ट और नॉट? जैसे आपने एनी पॉलिसी यू हैव क्रिएटेड बट somehow it is going to actually against the wish of the constitution, like article number 13, any law, any policy that is inconsistent with fundamental rights shall be considered null and void. और जुडिशरी ने क्या किया, स्ट्रक डाउन कर दिया. तो आपके पास सब कुछ था, पर क्या बोले, ये सब कुछ था, बट जुडिशरी डिनाइड. लाइक एग्जांपल कि 10% रिजर्वेशन हैज बीन गिवन टू ईडब्ल्यूएस कैटेगरी इंडिविजुअल, बट ये क्या, बेस्ड ऑन इकोनॉमी पैरामीटर्स, बेसिकली इकोनॉमिक वीकर सेक्शन. ये जरूरी नहीं कि दिस गवर्नमेंट ओनली हैज डन दिस, earlier no government has tried it, earlier also government has tried it, even Narsimha Rao government also tried to give 10% reservation based on economic criteria, but it was failed. अब see उस समय में Narsimha Rao has tried, तो it was politically acceptable, कौन मना करेगा, socially desirable, लोग दोनों हाथों से ले रहे थे, करेक्ट है ना, और ये टेक्निकल फीजिबल, उसमें पैसा कहाँ जा रहा है किसी का, कुछ नहीं, फाइनेंशियल फंडिंग लगाई ही नहीं, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव उसमें कोई काम ही नहीं है, लेकिन क्या था यहाँ, जुडिशरी, बिकॉज ये आर्टिकल नंबर 15 एंड 16 में इट वाज मेंशन कि यू कैन गिव रिजर्वेशन ओनली बेस्ड ऑन 2 पैरामीटर्स, सोशली एंड एजुकेशनली बैकवर्ड. इकोनॉमिक बैकवर्ड का नाम ही नहीं था. सो प्रेजेंट गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया, फर्स्ट दे हैव अमेंडेड आर्टिकल नंबर 15 एंड 16, करेक्ट, एंड एडेड दिस इकोनॉमिक वीकर सेक्शन. नाउ ओनली दैट पॉलिसी बिकेम सक्सेसफुल और नॉट. अभी आपको समझ में आया कि एनी पॉलिसी यू आर गोइंग टू मेक, करेक्ट, दिस विल बी सक्सेसफुल और नॉट इन ऑल दीज पैरामीटर्स में, ये सही होनी चाहिए. इफ एनी वन पैरामीटर इज जिसपे वो करेक्ट नहीं है, दैट पॉलिसी विल गोइंग टू फेल, करेक्ट. तो ये एक इंपॉर्टेंट है, सो दैट अगर कोई पॉलिसी, फॉर एग्जांपल दे आर आस्किंग अबाउट, लाइक एग्जांपल ओपन डिफेक्शन फ्री, लाइक गवर्नमेंट इज सेइंग दैट वी आर ओडीएफ नाउ, ओपन डिफेक्शन फ्री, कोई आउटसाइड नहीं जा रहा है, बट whenever we are going there, correct or not, then there are many sections are there, they are not using toilets properly, correct, they are still going outside only. So even some of the surveys has been conducted in some of the states, it has been observed only 67% they are using the toilet, 33% they are not using at all. Why they are not using? First, either toilets are not available, or if it is available, then they are not using it, करेक्ट. तो दैट इज सोशली डिजायरेबल. लाइक घर में जो बुजुर्ग लोग होते हैं, बूढ़े लोग होते हैं, वो कभी नहीं गए उसमें ना, सो उनके लिए दिस इज सोशली नॉट डिजायरेबल. बट जो न्यू चिल्ड्रंस आर, न्यू जनरेशंस आर कमिंग, उसके लिए टॉयलेट्स आर डिजायरेबल, सो दे आर एक्चुअली एक्सेप्टिंग इट इजीली, बट ओल्ड जनरेशन दे आर नॉट एक्सेप्टिंग इट, करेक्ट. इवन गवर्नमेंट इज पुटिंग दैट मच ऑफ एफर्ट आल्सो, ऐसा नहीं गवर्नमेंट के तरफ से कोई प्रॉब्लम हो, गवर्नमेंट हैज डूइंग व्हाटएवर दे कैन डू, करेक्ट और नॉट, but still people are not accepting that, so socially desirable, correct or not? समझ में आ गया. So public policy we have covered. When everything will be correct, everything, then only any public policy will be successful, and then only you can have a good governance, otherwise not possible. Clear this? So good governance basically यही तो है, how decisions are made, and how they are implemented, that is good governance is. So how decisions are made, they are nothing but policy formulation, and how decisions are implemented, they are policy implementation. अगर दोनों चीजें सही हैं, both places पे correct है, then only there will be a good governance. Clear this? अब now for example, good governance के actors कौन कौन है, stakeholders. So if we see stakeholders, it will be state, market, and civil society organizations. Governance, correct? At the initial state, actually initial states, we were basically having license fair, और हम बोल सकते हैं completely free society. Free society in the sense, okay, it means government will not going to interfere. Government के पास only दो work हैं. First work is law and order, and second work is to collect the taxes. उसके बाद गवर्नमेंट को एजुकेशन देना, हेल्थ देना, these things are not there at all. Correct? LAISSEZ license fare. Correct? So like example, आपने चार्टर एक्ट पढ़ा होगा मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री में. फर्स्ट मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री नहीं पढ़ा है, ठीक है, नहीं पढ़ा है, क्या कर सकते हैं, ठीक है ना. उसमें पढ़ोगे कि फर्स्ट टाइम ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट, जो ब्रिटिश थे, दे हैव प्रोवाइडेड 1 लाख रुपीज फॉर द प्रमोशन ऑफ एजुकेशन. उससे पहले क्या था, एजुकेशन वाज योर प्राइवेट वर्क ओनली. इफ यू आर हैविंग मनी देन यू कैन बी एजुकेटेड, अदरवाइज नॉट. फॉर एग्जांपल रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर, ही बिकेम दैट मच ऑफ एजुकेटेड पर्सन. क्या उससे इंटेलिजेंट पर्सन इंडिया में नहीं था? आई कैन टेल यू, रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर से भी इंटेलिजेंट पर्सन इंडिया में रहे होंगे, करेक्ट है, उनसे भी बेटर रहे होंगे, बट दे वर नॉट गेटिंग द opportunity. Correct or not? They were not getting any opportunity to go. Of same Rabindranath Tagore, if he actually taken birth in other family, तो क्या वो आज ये बन पाते? नहीं ना. तो एक पर्टिकुलर अच्छी फैमिली में बॉर्न किए जाए. करेक्ट. इवन रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर की एंटायर फैमिली वाज एजुकेटेड फैमिली. करेक्ट. Some good painters, correct, musicians, everyone. So that is the cases. At that time, it was your own actually effort. If your family is rich enough, then you will get the education. If your family is not rich enough, you will not get it. So that is what it is actually. Because उस समय गवर्नमेंट का मेन एम यही था, to control this law and order situations, and second was to collect the taxes. That's it. उसके बाद लगा कि नहीं, because government also need to do something for the people, and then welfare state came. Correct. This was, you can say, police state. This is police state and this is a welfare state. So welfare state में ये है कि now state start involving in providing basic necessity to the people. Welfare state में क्या है? State starts involving itself in providing the basic necessity, for example, health, education, drinking water, sanitation, all these things. जब ये दे रहे थे तब बाद में ये पता चला कि because government is also having a limited resources, they cannot do everything. So they are dependent on some other persons also for the money. So उसके बाद आया आपका market. So then market enter हुआ आपका, correct? So market जब enter हुआ, especially during 1980s के बाद, during 1980s after market enters, even India में हम लोग LPG movement, liberalization, privatization, globalization, other countries में पहले हो गया था. अपने यहाँ for example it happened only after 1992 only. Other countries we started in 1980 only, like Britain, like USA. So market when enter हुआ, तो market start providing the finance. जैसे आप PPP project होता है ना, public private partnership projects, same way. So then market comes into picture to provide the governance along with the state. ये बोला गया state का जो role है, state, it should not be the doer actually, it should be the facilitator. स्टेट को खुद नहीं काम करना है, स्टेट का रोल सिर्फ है फैसिलिटेट करना. किसको? मार्केट को. मार्केट विल डू. स्टेट रोल इज नॉट टू डू द बिजनेस एट ऑल. इवन प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी आल्सो यूज दिस लाइन वेरियस प्लेटफॉर्म पे कि गवर्नमेंट रोल इज नॉट टू डू द, और गवर्नमेंट बिजनेस इज नॉट टू डू द बिजनेस. दिस इज हाउ ही यूज्ड टू कोट कि गवर्नमेंट बिजनेस इज नॉट टू डू द बिजनेस. गवर्नमेंट बिजनेस नहीं है, ये किसका बिजनेस है? मार्केट का है. क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट इज नेवर एवर प्रॉफिट ओरिएंटेड. करेक्ट और नॉट? सो मार्केट विल डू हियर इज. गवर्नमेंट का रोल, सॉरी स्टेट का रोल क्या है? जस्ट टू फैसिलिटेट देम, जस्ट टू रेगुलेट देम. ऐसा ना हो कि दे स्टार्ट यूजिंग सम अनफेयर ट्रेड प्रैक्टिसेस. करेक्ट? सो दैट शुड नॉट बी देयर. So when market start doing all these things, उसके बाद पता चला कि market is not available in that areas जहाँ पे peoples are not able to pay the cost or price. उस एरिया में market will going to fail. Like example, market definitely will going to invest the money in various national highway projects, airports projects. कभी आपने देखा कि अदानी ने ले लिया हो या किसी ने ले लिया हो, इन प्रधानमंत्री ग्राम सड़क योजना हम बनाएंगे, क्योंकि आप टोल नहीं ले सकते वहां पे. सो यू विल नॉट गोइंग टू अर्न एनीथिंग. correct or not? So यहाँ पे only state can do the work. और in some remote areas जहाँ पे state is also not available, जहाँ पे completely stateless है, जैसे for example नक्सलाइट टाइम्स में जो छत्तीसगढ़ एरिया था, झारखंड एरियाज था, यहाँ पे for some of the areas were there people not aware who is the prime minister. Even in 1990s के टाइम पे when it was asked who is the prime minister, still they were saying Jawaharlal Nehru only. They were not aware about anything actually, correct? तो ये तक आइडिया था, तो वहां पे क्या था, स्टेट कंप्लीटली मिसिंग था. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप सोच सकते हो कि माझी टू कट द माउंटेन, करेक्ट, स्टेट वाज नॉट अवेलेबल एट ऑल देयर. सो उस सिचुएशन में कौन आएगा देन? सिविल सोसाइटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस. सो दीज आर द थ्री स्टेक होल्डर्स, they are going to provide the governance. So this state is nothing but your article number 12. Remember article number 12, state parliament, correct? Union government, state legislature, state local self government, other bodies, for example LIC, ONGC, UPSC, all this, that is state. Definition of the state in under article number 12 and under article number एक और 30, 36, 35 तक तो fundamental right है, correct? Market and the civil society organizations together they are providing now. So this government is not alone there. That means governance is not limited to the government only or state only. Governance में these other stakeholders are also involved. इतना क्लियर हुआ अभी? So now comes to what is actually good governance, means what are the indicators are there through that we can understand that this is the good governance is. So next is what is good governance. Even we celebrate good governance day also. What was the date? Good governance day. अगर न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ते हो प्रॉपर्ली तो आपको पता होना चाहिए. न्यूज़पेपर में आया था और बहुत बड़ा प्रिंट दिया था उन्होंने गुड गवर्नेंस डे पे. 25 दिसंबर रिसेंटली ओनली, ऐसा ओल्ड नहीं है, ठीक है. To commemorate the birth anniversary of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, we are celebrating Good Governance Day on 25th December. Correct? We release Good Governance Index also. So which agency released Good Governance Index? कौन हो सकता है अगर ऑप्शंस में मिल गया तो? नीति आयोग, वर्ल्ड बैंक, यूएनडीपी, कौन है? यस, कौन कौन? विच वन? वर्ल्ड बैंक. All of them. World Bank. Okay. None of them. Okay. Okay. It is Department of Administrative Reform and Public Grievance. That is DARPG. Okay. DOPT सुना है, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पर्सनल ट्रेनिंग, जो आप लोगों को टेक केयर करता है यूपीएससी, उसी के अंदर एक डिपार्टमेंट आता है DARPG. DARPG, they release actually this Good Governance Index. Department of Administrative Reform and Personal Grievance basically. Okay, what is good governance? So good governance में आपको include क्या क्या होगा इसमें? Participation. First important, participation. Transparency. Accountability. Efficient and effectiveness. Rule of law. Consensus oriented. Correct. के बाद responsive. Equity and inclusiveness. So these are the 8 important parameters that define the good governance. Equity and inclusiveness, responsiveness, consensus oriented, rule of law, efficiency and effectiveness, accountability, transparency and participation. So ये term आप याद रख लो, जहां पे भी whenever you require, just use them. Correct? In your essay paper also, in ethics paper also, you can use such terms. Even local self-government maybe we use these terms only. So first is participation. Participations. So participations, किसका participation यहाँ पे होगा? Whose participation we are asking here? Yes, public's participation or citizens' participation, people's participation. Citizens' participation happening direct and indirect. Indirect कैसे होता है? Representative democracy. Correct? And direct के भी हमने some tools बताए थे आपको. 4 tools. Initiative, referendum, plebiscite, right to recall. Exactly. Correct? So these are the 4 tools of the direct democracy: is initiative, referendum, plebiscite and, like example, referendum very important होता है. जब whenever government is in dilemma to take the decisions, then we go for the referendum only. Like example, Britain, when they want to exit from the European Union, basically, then they have done the referendum only, Brexit. So whatever the decision came, they have taken, accept the decisions. Like example of Sudan. Sudan में so much of civil war was going on around for 22 years. और उसके बाद लास्ट में जाके 2011 में what they have done is, चलो रेफरेंडम से देख लेते हैं कि we need to divide the Sudan or not. Then referendum में ये हुआ कि we need to divide. Then South Sudan came to as a new country in 2011. So that is also people's participation only. तो ये जब for example अगर लड़ाई करके आप, if you're just fighting, doing civil war, okay, and then you are dividing the country, it will not be acceptable as it is. But when you are going for referendum, then it will be accepted. Like example, India Pakistan division also happened, but यहाँ पे ये था कि citizens participation was not there directly. जो elected individuals थे, they have taken that decisions. Correct or not? इसलिए आप देखो कि इंडिया पाकिस्तान डिवीजन इज नॉट दैट मच ऑफ एक्सेप्टेबल. अभी भी लोग एक्यूज करते हैं. करेक्ट और नॉट? द इंडिविजुअल्स हु आर टेकिंग द डिसीजंस एट दैट टाइम. अगर यही डिसीजन जो इंडिया पाकिस्तान डिवीजन का रेफरेंडम से होता, करेक्ट और नॉट, रेफरेंडम हुआ होता, तो आज एक्सेप्टेबल होता, बिकॉज आपके ग्रैंडफादर ने भी वोट दिया था. इट वाज नॉट ओनली जवाहरलाल नेहरू और अदर इंडिविजुअल्स. अब किसको गाली दोगे जाके? अपने ग्रैंडफादर को. Correct or not? So this is the problem. Whenever there is a participation is there, we are going to accept the decision. Correct? So this is happening through tools क्या क्या है? Election. People going to participate through election actually. Any other method through which people participating in India? Protest, rallies, correct? So various protests and demands. Like Lokpal. So Lokpal came into function only after the 8th failed attempt happened from 1960s. तब से हम लोग लोकपाल ट्राई कर रहे थे and we were not able to achieve the target, correct? But when 2011 में अन्ना हजारे movement happened India against corruption, उसके बाद पूरा एक demonstration हुआ, protest हुआ, rally हुआ, and then government has accepted that decision, correct or not? So that is through the protest and demand. किसान आंदोलन जो 3 laws थे, the government has taken back, repealed कर दिए because of this protest and demand only. Otherwise it is not possible. ठीक है? तो जहां जहां पे लगता है कि yes, government is doing that is going against the wish of the people, people start protesting against it. और government को लगता है कि yes, majority of the individuals they are protesting, they can lose the vote bank and they accept that things. Clear? और आप कैसे कर सकते हो? वेरियस सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म, हैशटैग चला देते हैं हम लोग, करेक्ट? सो सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स. इवन इससे क्या होता है, फॉर एग्जांपल इवन पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज व्हेन दे डू एनी अपॉइंटमेंट, लाइक वन पर्सन whose background is not that clean background, that means background was criminal background somewhere actually this way, and that person is taken into the political party. तो जो political party जो fan होते हैं, political party के जो supporters होते हैं, sometimes they start running a negative campaign against the particular political party, हमें ये नहीं चाहिए ये सब, then वो political party force होती है to remove that guy. So it is possible only through the social media platform, correct? Even it's happened like when Uttar Pradesh में election था, उस समय BJP has taken some of the individuals from other political parties like BSP or Samajwadi Party and given the membership in the morning. Then क्या हुआ, जो BJP के supporters थे, they start running this anti okay BJP okay this hashtags social media में, remove those guys, and in the evening itself BJP need to remove actually those 2 guys. See, that is the importance, correct? और क्या हो सकता है आपका, फॉर एग्जांपल PIL, पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट लिटिगेशंस, right? So these are the methods through which we are achieving this good governance and participation. और भी हो सकता है, फॉर एग्जांपल right to information, correct? Community policing, yes. So community policing is also one of, community policing में for example क्या है कि इस particular area में community one member will going to be allocated कि you need to take care कि यहाँ पे जो traffic violation हो रहा है या किसी ने they have this park their car in very unauthorized location, आपको सिर्फ क्या करना है, फोटो खींच के हमको भेज देना है, I am going to send the challan, correct? So that is community policing, beat policing for example आप बोल सकते हो. That is also the people's participation. So people are participating here is managing the law and order situations. Clear? So various examples हैं जहाँ पे public participation is there. Second आएगा आपका consensus oriented. So consensus oriented क्या है basically? See, consensus oriented क्या है? It is not just majority decisions. So then it will not be consensus. Consensus means everyone is accepting that decision. That is consensus. Inclusiveness, correct or not? So that is consensus will come. So views of all sections should be okay taken to establish a common decisions, that is consensus. So consensus क्या है? Views of all sections should be taken into consideration. Otherwise, it will be a majority only. Democracy क्या है? Majority versus minority only. If majority is saying something and minority is not accepting, still it will be considered as right decisions only. But that is not a good governance. Correct? Sometimes called the brutal majority, brutal democracy or electoral democracy. We call that term electoral democracy because आप जो democracy आप बोल रहे हो, it is nothing but it is electoral democracy because you are having a number, so you are able to take the decisions. अगर आपके पास numbers नहीं है, then you will not able to take the decisions. Correct? So इसलिए उसकी जगह if we are having this consensus oriented, that is a good parameter. So consensus oriented simply means need to take the views of all members. Correct? So this consensus कैसे हम डेवलप करेंगे? Consultations with various groups, like whenever finance minister go for the budget. So before the making of the budget, finance minister used to meet actually various sections of the society, stakeholders like farmer unions, trade unions, finance जो organizations होते हैं, commerce chambers, सभी से मिलते हैं because of to create a consensus. Correct? Consultations. उसके बाद post legislative inputs. Sometimes you have seen whenever any bill introduced in the parliament, it will go to the committee, correct? And sometimes they put that in various platforms or bolte you have to give the feedback regarding that bill. After this feedback will come, then government is going to take the decisions. That is post legislative inputs. Post legislative inputs are nothing but whenever government actually bring any bill, after that they put this bill for some point of time, like some 1 month ke liye in one particular platform, then citizens can go over there, they can comment about that bill. If any problems they are facing, they can give it. So for example, recently this 3 important criminal law, they were actually came into picture. So before usme bhi they have taken the inputs actually, correct? Post legislative inputs from the people. Social audits, it is also consensus oriented only. The social audit is different from the normal audit. So normal audit में क्या होता है? For example, if 100 crore rupees have been sanctioned, then they are going to check how much money you have actually spent. Like आपने 90 crore rupees आपने खर्च किए, and they are going to ask where is 10 crore rupees. तो आपने बोल दिया 10 crore rupees are this available in this account. आपने कहा ठीक है, that's it. आप सिर्फ ये चेक करोगे 100 crore rupees they were sanctioned or not. So yes, they were sanctioned from the parliament or state legislature, correct? Then for what purpose that 100 crore was sanctioned? रोड बनाने के लिए, स्कूल बनाने के लिए. ऐसा ना हो कि सैंक्शन था रोड के लिए, यू हैव यूटिलाइज्ड फॉर द स्कूल ओके बिल्डिंग, वो नहीं है. जिस काम के लिए वही काम पे खर्च करना है. देन हाउ मच मनी यू स्पेंड, दैट इज नॉर्मल ऑडिट. सोशल ऑडिट क्या होता है? सोशल ऑडिट्स में ऑल द स्टेक होल्डर्स आर इन्वॉल्व. लाइक एग्जांपल, आप पंचायत का एग्जांपल ले लो. पंचायत, मनरेगा. सो एमजी नरेगा में फॉर एग्जांपल कि दे हैव स्पेंट सम मनी, करेक्ट? Now, एक पंचायत मीटिंग will going to be called on. पंचायत मीटिंग होगा, पंचायत सेक्रेटरी will be there, प्रधान और सरपंच will be there, correct? जो पीडीओ वगैरह they will be there. And then if any NGO is there, civil society organization, they are also working there, that they also will be there. Now they are going to ask questions. For example, muster roll will be there. Then muster they are going to call the name कि whether you have received the job card or not. आपका यहाँ पे नाम लिखा है तो बताएगा भाई हमारा नाम लिख दिया है, हम तो थे भी नहीं यहाँ पे, तो पता चल जाएगा कि दिस वाज समथिंग रॉन्ग. देन दे आर गोइंग टू चेक कि दिस यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है कि हाउ मच मनी यू हैव रिसीव्ड. तो सबसे पहले पूछेंगे हाउ मच रुपी यू हैव मनी यू हैव रिसीव्ड. आपने बोला कि आई हैव रिसीव्ड 200 रुपीज, यहाँ पे तो 1000 लिखा हुआ है. मिसमैनेजमेंट हो गया कि नहीं हो गया? सो दैट इज व्हाट सोशल ऑडिट इज देयर, करेक्ट? तो सोशल ऑडिट में कि ऑल द स्टेक होल्डर्स और बेनिफिशियरीज हैं, दे आर आल्सो इन्वॉल्वड. सो इट इज मच मोर देन नॉर्मल ऑडिट एक्चुअली. तो सोशल ओरिएंटेड में क्या है? पार्टिसिपेशन भी है एंड कंसेंसस ओरिएंटेशन भी है, करेक्ट। तो यहाँ पे सबका कंसेंसस होके ही दे आर गोइंग टू डिसाइड कि जो मनरेगा में वॉट एवर द वर्क वी आर डूइंग इट शुड बी डन और नॉट। क्लियर दिस? Otherwise, we will going to cover social audit separately also. It is one of the topic later. Conducting survey. Sometimes government third party से survey conduct कराता है. Like open defecation free के लिए क्या हुआ था इन सब में? Government conduct the survey, then only government will come to know कि open defecation free है या नहीं ODF. Correct? Like electricity, आपने बोला 97% area में electricity is there. So government is going to conduct the survey also. Based on that, government will come to the conclusion whether 97% is included or not. So next is conducting survey. Sometimes क्या होता है, government want to make a consensus, तो कैसे बनाए? So government need to reach to each and every individuals. कैसे पहुंचेंगे आप? तो उसके लिए क्या होता है कि right now advertising, print and social medias, correct? So advertising on print and social media, that is one more tool they are having. And social media, correct? Through this also government is able to make a consensus. इससे क्या होगा कि जब आपके पास इतना सारा प्रिंट जाएगा तो आपको लगेगा कि हाँ whatever the other peoples are saying, they are saying incorrect things, they are saying something politically motivated things. आपको लगे गवर्नमेंट ने तो ऐसा नहीं बोला है कि what they are doing, correct? So that is advertising on print and social media. Clear? Sometimes क्या होता है, गवर्नमेंट मेक ए रिंगटोन भी आपने देखा होगा ड्यूरिंग कोविड टाइम अमिताभ बच्चन बोलते थे, ठीक है? तो वो भी क्या है, कंसेंसस ओरिएंटेड, सबको घर में रहना है, करेक्ट? तो दैट इज कंसेंसस ओरिएंटेड. Done this. Next is accountability or accountable. So accountability basically क्या होता है? Accountability, it means answerability plus enforcement, correct? Accountability is nothing but answerability plus enforcement. जो भी आपने डिसीजन लिया है, whether you are answerable for the decision or not to someone. अगर आप आंसरेबल ही नहीं हो किसी के लिए, देन क्या है आपके पास, यू कैन मिसयूज द पावर देन. व्हेन यू आर आंसरेबल, और अगर यू आर आंसरेबल, यू हैव डन समथिंग रॉन्ग, देन उसके अगेंस्ट इन्वेस्टिगेशन कैन बी डन और नॉट. तो इन्फोर्समेंट इज देयर और नॉट. सिंपली आप आंसरेबल हो, दैट्स इट, और आपको कोई पनिशमेंट नहीं मिल रहा है, देन इट इज नॉट ए अकाउंटेबिलिटी. अकाउंटेबिलिटी सिंपली मींस इफ यू हैव डन समथिंग रॉन्ग, देन डेफिनेटली क्या होगा, पनिशमेंट शुड बी देयर, रिवार्ड शुड बी देयर, करेक्ट? सो दैट इज इन्फोर्समेंट. जब ये दोनों मिल जाते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज अकाउंटेबिलिटी. सो अकाउंटेबिलिटी इज नथिंग बट आंसरेबिलिटी प्लस इन्फोर्समेंट बोथ. लाइक एग्जांपल, एक एसएचओ है, ओके, किसी पुलिस स्टेशन में, एनी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर प्रॉब्लम्स हैपेंड, एसएचओ हैज टेकन द डिसीजंस. अब समथिंग ऐसा हो गया कि ही नीड टू फायर एक्चुअली, और उसमें 1 or 2 इंडिविजुअल्स का डेथ हो गया, देन ही इज आंसरेबल टू एसपी, करेक्ट और नॉट? और एसपी के पास भी पावर होनी चाहिए, सो एसपी कैन पनिश आल्सो इफ, सी, इफ इंटेंशन वाज नॉट टू एक्चुअली हर्ट समवन एंड देन दिस हैपेंड, इट इज अ नेग्लिजेंस, तो छोड़ दिया जाएगा. अगर ये जानबूझ कर किया गया, देन एसपी इज गोइंग टू पनिश दैट आल्सो, सस्पेंड आल्सो, दैट इज enforcement. So accountability is basically answerability plus enforcement both. Clear? अभी accountability जो होती है, it is 2 types. एक horizontal accountability, another is vertical accountability. Horizontal and vertical. So horizontal accountability basically means, like example, executive, legislature and judiciary, इनका आपस में. Like legislature is accountable to judiciary or not? Executive is accountable to judiciary or not? They are also accountable. Executive is accountable to legislature or not? Yes, article number 75. Council of Ministers accountable to the Lok Sabha. Correct? Judiciary is accountable to legislature or not? They are there. Removal तो वही लोग करेंगे ना. Legislature is going to remove them. Correct? Judiciary is not accountable to president directly. Only thing president is going to remove. That's it. Correct? Ultimately, they will be accountable to the legislature. Correct? So see, that is called as horizontal accountability. Clear? एक होता है वर्टिकल अकाउंटेबिलिटी. तो वर्टिकल अकाउंटेबिलिटी में क्या होगा? जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल executives are there, legislatures are there, they are accountable to the people. Correct or not? जो लोग होंगे they are going to remove them in the next elections if they are not working properly. Or for example, in any government service में, for example, if you go, then vertical accountability will be there. Like example, SDM, DM, secretary. This is vertical accountability. So your accountability to your superior, subordinate accountability to the superordinate. Correct? That is vertical accountability. Then, for example, इंडिया में अगर accountability set करना है, तो who is going to set accountability? So accountability will be set up by judiciary तो करेगा ही ना, because case आएगा judiciary के सामने, judiciary is going to set the accountability. Correct? They are going to enforce it. और कौन accountability करेगा आपका? CAG, they are also going to give the report. Audit on appropriate account. Correct? Finance account. CBI. Lokpal and Lokayukta. So they are also going to set up the accountability. Clear? Social audit say also we can set up the accountability. So social audit में ये तो पूछते हैं ना. So they are setting the accountability. जो work हुआ है that is done or not. RTI से, because जब तक आपके पास इंफॉर्मेशन ही नहीं है, how you are going to set up the accountability? तो इंफॉर्मेशन तो होनी चाहिए ना. The use value of information will come only after when you are having the information. जैसे for example कि government has spent some money, आपको नहीं पता how much money they have spent, आपने RTI फाइल किया, RTI में पता चल गया that much money they have spent, तो आपको एक आइडिया लग जाएगा कि हाँ they are telling lie or not. Like example, recently there was one interview was there, RBI Governor Raghuram, he was saying that he was getting the salary of 4 lakh rupees per annum. तो अब आपको तो नहीं पता, आपको लगता है शायद इतना नहीं मिल रहा 4 लाख रुपीज पर एनम. आप क्या करोगे अभी? यू आर गोइंग टू फाइल द आरटीआई. आरटीआई में तो वो करेक्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन देंगे, वहां पे बताएंगे नहीं भाई 4 लाख तो नहीं मिला है आपको, यू गॉट मोर मनी. करेक्ट और नॉट? तो बोलेंगे 21 लाख रुपीज वी हैव पेड टू दिस गाय. करेक्ट? इसका मतलब ही वाज लाइंग. करेक्ट? इट मे बी पॉसिबल ही वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट ओनली बेसिक पे. करेक्ट? उसके बाद देन आरटीआई इज गोइंग टू टेल एवरी इन्फॉर्मेशन, how much money they have spent for the relocation of this guy, 76 lakh rupees, 61 lakh rupees. So every information you get only through the RTI. Correct or not? Even lot of corruptions जो हैं, they were unearthed through the RTI only. Correct? That is the importance of this RTI. Clear this? Even citizen charter. Citizen charter as it is not a legal document actually. Citizen charter as it is not a legal document, but through citizen charter you will come to know what they have promised to you. Correct or not? Like example, citizen charter, it is a menu card actually. अब आप रेस्टोरेंट में विजिट करते हो तो आंख बंद करके तो डिश ऑर्डर नहीं करोगे ना. वी आर गोइंग टू लुक इनटू द मेनू कार्ड दैट दिस इज अवेलेबल और नॉट. तो उसमें होता है डिश का नेम लिख दिया एंड देन कितने प्राइस में मिलेगा. कुछ अच्छे रेस्टोरेंट में दे विल पुट द क्वांटिटी आल्सो, कैलोरी कंटेंट आल्सो, इवन सम डिस्क्रिप्शंस आल्सो, पूरा ऐसे लिख देते हैं. करेक्ट. तो दैट इज सिटीजन चार्टर एक्चुअली. अगर फॉर एग्जांपल वहां पे लिख दिया कि इन डिश में यू विल गेट 2 टोस्ट, अगर 2 टोस्ट आर नॉट देयर तो आप क्वेश्चन करोगे ना कि दैट यू हैव प्रॉमिस्ड बट यू हैव नॉट गिवन. सेम सिटीजन चार्टर इज फॉर द गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स. सो दे आल्सो लाइक बीबीएमपी. सो बीबीएमपी में क्या मिलेगा क्या नहीं मिलेगा यू डू नॉट नो एक्जेक्टली. जब आप बीबीएमपी ऑफिस विजिट करोगे उनकी वेबसाइट में उन्होंने मेंशन सिटीजन चार्टर दे हैव मेंशन कि दीज सर्विसेज वी आर प्रोवाइडिंग. इससे आप क्लियर हो जाओगे हाँ दी सर्विसेज विल बी अवेलेबल हियर ओनली. ऐसा नहीं कि यू आर गोइंग देयर फॉर एवरी सर्विस. दे आर नॉट एबल टू डिलीवर. दे आर नॉट हैविंग जुरिसडिक्शन इवन. सो दैट इज सिटीजन चार्टर इज. Then they will give this service they will give in this time like 30 days 35 days ऐसा करके. And if you are not able to get the service delivered on this stipulated time then you can contact this number grievance redressal mechanism के लिए. You can call this, then they will going to help you. Example of you've got Ministry of External Affairs website, passport office. The passport office में भी you will get, they will provide complete timeline. अगर न्यू पासपोर्ट के लिए जा रहे हो तो 30 डेज लगेंगे, उसके बाद 35 डेज लगेंगे, पुलिस वेरिफिकेशन दिस मच टाइम लगेगा. इफ इट इज टेकिंग मोर देन दैट टाइम then this is a grievance redressal mechanism. Number is there, you can call over there, they will help you. That is called as citizen charter. So citizen charter is also setting the accountability or not? Yes. अगर आप 30 days में नहीं डिलीवर कर पाए then we are having that to set the accountability. We are going to question, we can question the government. That is answerability and enforcement. So citizen charter is also one of the tool for the accountability. Only drawback with citizen charter is it is not a legal document. इसका प्रॉब्लम ये है कि if they are not enforcing that, कि उन्होंने जो लिखा है they are not giving, then we cannot go against them legally actually. Clear हो गया? Accountability done. Next is transparent or transparency. So transparency is nothing but to know the decision making process of the government. Simply, it simply means to know the decision process of government. That is आपने पढ़ा होगा ओरल क्वेश्चंस, रिटन क्वेश्चंस, स्टार इन. तो ये क्या है? ट्रांसपेरेंसी के लिए तो थे, टू आस्क क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट. करेक्ट है ना? सो लेजिस्लेटिव क्वेश्चंस. ओरल एंड रिटन क्वेश्चन बेसिकली. और क्या हो सकता है? Press conference. Whenever ministers come on press conference, then also media persons they ask questions to the government. So that is also one of the way we improve the transparency. Correct? Citizen charter, transparency, because we come to know what services this particular department is able to provide or not. Citizen charter. Clear? Then transparency. Next is responsive. Government is responsive or not? यही एक ऐसा पैरामीटर है जहां पे गवर्नमेंट और एनी जो भी अपनी इंडिया की ले लो किसी की पर्टिकुलरली दे आर वीक एक्चुअली. ट्रांसपेरेंसी यस इट इज देयर, क्योंकि आरटीआई आप फाइल कर सकते हो, यू विल गेट द इंफॉर्मेशन, प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस आर देयर, इवन अकाउंटेबिलिटी है. आप कितना भी गलत काम करो वन डे डेफिनेटली यू विल बी पनिश्ड, करेक्ट, बाय जुडिशरी और बाय पीपल इवन थ्रू वोटिंग. बट जो एक रिस्पॉन्सिव है कि वेदर दे आर गिविंग द प्रॉपर रिस्पॉन्स ऑन टाइम और नॉट, दैट इज द मोस्ट प्रॉब्लमेटिक थिंग वी आर हैविंग इन द गवर्नमेंट. कि या आपने यू इफ यू फाइल्ड एन एप्लीकेशन ओके इन तहसील में जाके या बीबीएमपी ऑफिस जाके या कहीं पे भी, दे आर नॉट गिविंग प्रॉपर रिस्पॉन्स टू यू, इवन दो यू आर विजिटिंग ए पीएसयू बैंक, ओके वहां पे भी दे आर नॉट गिविंग प्रॉपर रिस्पॉन्स, करेक्ट और नॉट. सो दिस इज ए मिसिंग एक्चुअली. क्या होता है, गवर्नमेंट ऑलवेज नीड टू रिस्पॉन्ड टू द पीपल व्हेनेवर दे आस्क एनी क्वेश्चन. So that is response. Responsive means government should respond to the need of the citizens. Government should respond to the need of the citizens. Government should respond to the need of the citizens and within a given time frame. And within a given time frame. And within a given time frame. Time frame. ऐसा ना हो रिस्पॉन्स तो दे रहे हैं बट रिस्पॉन्स इज कमिंग आफ्टर बिलियन ईयर्स ऑफ टाइम, ऐसा नहीं है ना. रिस्पॉन्स शुड बी स्टेबल टाइम 30 डेज 35 डेज ऐसा करके. सो इसके लिए क्या है कि रिस्पॉन्सिवनेस के लिए व्हाट टूल्स वी आर हैविंग. सो वी नीड टू चेंज अवर पॉलिसी फ्रॉम डोल बेस्ड पॉलिसी टू द राइट बेस्ड पॉलिसी. राइट बेस्ड. डोल बेस्ड मतलब फ्री बीज टाइप, आपका मर्जी आपने दे दिया, when your government is not there then the things will not be available. Right based में क्या है कि no matter which government is there, that is your right, it will be available. Like fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are not dependent on the particular color of government is ruling at the central level, correct? They are available to everyone no matter which government is there, correct? So that is the dole based में क्या होता है कि like example particular government आया loan waiver scheme चला दिया, next time government आया they have not run loan waiver scheme. इससे क्या हुआ, farmers जो होते हैं उनको even though they are able to pay the money back or those individuals who have taken the loan they are able to pay back the money, but उनको तो यही लगेगा ना कि फिर से आएंगे ये लोग फिर से लोन वेव तो कर ही देंगे, but that government is not doing. अब उसका इंटरेस्ट बढ़ता गया, now that person will be in debt or not. So यही प्रॉब्लम है डोल बेस्ड पॉलिसी में. राइट बेस्ड पॉलिसी में क्या है कि they know what they are going to get. एग्जाम्पल आप ले लो मनरेगा, करेक्ट, एमजी नरेगा राइट बेस्ड है कि 100 days of work will be available to below poverty line people, करेक्ट. आप राइट टू फूड ले लो, अवेलेबल है आपको. लाइक रिसेंटली कर्नाटका गवर्नमेंट हैज हैविंग 5 इंपॉर्टेंट स्कीम्स, राइट बेस्ड अप्रोच, करेक्ट. राइट टू पब्लिक सर्विस डिलीवरी ऑल्सो, पब्लिक सर्विस डिलीवरी एक्ट. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट इज हैविंग डोर स्टेप public service delivery, Rajasthan government, even Karnataka government is also having public service delivery, right to public service delivery. इसमें क्या होगी, what some important services are there, they will give the time frame कि this time frame you will get the service. If we fail then whoever individuals are there they need to pay the money actually, penalty like 250 rupees per day, 200 rupees per day in this way. Right to public service delivery. So इसको बोलते हैं right to service act basically. Yes, central government also tried to pass it in 2011 but they are not able to pass it. अगर ये central government pass कर देता then it was better actually, but central government failed to pass it. Right to इसको बोलते हैं time bound public services, time bound public service delivery of citizens, but it was not done. But state level में various states governments हैं, they have passed it. Meghalaya government has passed it. That is responsive. Clear? नहीं, राइट टू फूड एक स्कीम ही है, राइट टू फूड एक्ट एक्चुअली, जिसमें पर्टिकुलर केजी ऑफ फूड ग्रेन्स विल बी अवेलेबल टू द इंडिविजुअल्स। ये राइट है, जैसे जो आपका पीडीएस सिस्टम है, पब्लिक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिस्टम पीडीएस, उसके थ्रू ये फूड विल बी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड। यस, राइट टू लाइफ ये फंडामेंटल राइट में चला जाता है। दिस राइट टू फूड बेसिकली एक एक्ट ही है, लेजिस्लेटिव एक्ट, गवर्नमेंट हैज पास्ड इट, जिसमें फॉर एग्जांपल व्हीट, राइस, दे विल बी अवेलेबल टू द पीपल। ठीक है, अब राइट टू फूड रहेगा तभी तो राइट टू लाइफ आपका रहेगा, जिंदा रहोगे। तो राइट टू फूड इज इंक्लूड राइट टू लाइफ, बट राइट टू लाइफ इज नॉट ए लेजिस्लेटिव एक्ट, इट इज द फंडामेंटल राइट under article number 21. But right to food is not under article 21. Basically it is passed by the government through parliament as an act, जिसमें government has promised कि this particular kg of food grains will be given to the individuals every month. जैसे for example अन्न स्कीम आता है, स्कीम is there in कर्नाटका, वैसे ही सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के पास है। करेक्ट, क्लियर दिस? ओके, नाउ यू टेक द ब्रेक। उसके बाद अभी अदर पैरामीटर, अभी कितना नंबर हो गया ये? 5 ओनली, 3 मोर्स आर देयर। Okay, so till responsiveness we have done. So next will be your equitable and inclusive. Next parameter, equitable and inclusive. Correct. So this is also very important parameter for the good governance. Correct. Till now, for example, we have seen most of the good governance things are available in India. Like transparency, yes, to the extent we are having a transparent government. Okay, accountable government, yes, to the extent we are having a transparent government also. Correct. Main important problem we were facing is responsiveness. That is not there actually. For example, when you are taking an e-commerce website, correct? वहां पे क्या responsiveness is very good. For example, whether your problem is solved or not, आपको कब खुशी मिलती है? When you get happy, when you get the response on time only. For example, you are going to call, immediately you are connected with the customer care number, and immediately you are getting the response. What is the problems you are going on? That's it, correct? So responsiveness is not available in the government. Next is this equitable and inclusiveness. So what does this mean, equitable and inclusiveness? वही जो मोदी, जो prime minister used to say that सबका साथ सबका विकास. So this is nothing but सबका साथ and सबका विकास. That means no citizen should be excluded. It simply means no citizen should be excluded actually. Because if we go by democracy, democracy क्या होता है? Democracy simply means majority. Majority are taking the decisions, and when majority is taking the decisions, like example, anyone can be the prime minister or ruling government whenever they are getting around 51% of the voting. Whenever any political party is having more than 50% plus seats, they will going to run the government. अभी क्या होता है? Now this government need to work for those 51% only. Rest 49, even though they are not giving anything to those 49%, कोई इशू नहीं है, because next time again this 51% going to vote to that particular political party and they will come to the government again. But whether it is equitable and inclusive, no, because no matter whether that particular person has given the vote or not to your political party, still after winning the election, when you are actually running the government, you have to take care of that person also. This is what is equitable and inclusiveness. That is सबका साथ and सबका विकास. Correct. So इसमें क्या है? Even the weakest person should get the opportunity. Correct. Even the weakest person जो भी होगा, that person should get the opportunity. गांधी जी talisman is there. गांधी जी ने क्या बोला था कि whenever you are in dilemma in during policy decisions कि whether we need to take this decision or not, तो आपको क्या देखना है? There is a one line is there. In that line, whatever last person is there, that last weakest person, poor person, if your policy is going to help that last and weakest person also, that means your policy decision is right. If that policy is not going to help to the last or weakest person, that means this policy is not proper policy. Correct or not? So this is what it is here is no citizen should be excluded and weakest persons also should get the opportunity. अब कौन होंगे weakest person यहाँ पे? Weakest means vulnerable section. Vulnerable section. Who are those vulnerable sections? This will be basically old citizen, senior citizen जिसको हम बोलते हैं. They are very vulnerable. So policy decision should be for them also. Women, children, and person with disability. Person with disability also. SC, ST, backward class. These are the sections of the society. They are considered as vulnerable sections. They should not be left. Correct? जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल ड्यूरिंग दिस 2003 से आप देख लो टिल 2008 तक बहुत अच्छा स्टोरी इंडिया का रहा है. ग्रोथ, इंडिया का जो ग्रोथ था उस समय जब जीडीपी देखें तो इट वाज मोर देन 8% जीडीपी से इंडिया वाज ग्रोइंग. बट देन क्वेश्चन केम एक्चुअली इन यूपीएससी आल्सो इन द मेंस एग्जाम एज वेल एज दिस ऐसे पेपर कि वेदर दिस ग्रोथ इज एन इंक्लूसिव ग्रोथ और नॉट. ऐसा ना हो कि only some sectors are there, they are growing entire economy, or only some section of the societies are there, they are growing entire economy, but everyone is not included. And that is the reason sometimes को बोलते हैं whatever the growth is happening, this is non-inclusive growth. Non-inclusive growth. हमको क्या चाहिए? Inclusive growth. Everyone should get included there. Correct? इसलिए होता है ग्रोथ वर्सेस डेवलपमेंट. एक चैप्टर है आपका जीएस पेपर 3 में, we're having one section that is growth versus development. Even one particular actually topic has been given in GS paper 3, that is inclusive growth. So that is one part of good governance is that should be inclusive growth. That should be growth which is going to create the development. Development for whom? Development for everyone, even for the weakest section of the society. That means those old citizens, women, child, PWD, SC, ST, backward class, everyone should get the benefit. So जो government होती है, sometimes आपने देखा social security schemes are there, government is running. So those social security schemes government is running for one particular sections, like some old days, like Atal Pension Yojana schemes are there, like for the women's के लिए है, especially reproductive health के लिए, correct? Child care के लिए schemes we are having, right to education, children for those who are for till the age of 14 years age. PWD के लिए भी schemes are there, SC and ST reservations are there, as like article number 15, article number 16 in constitution. Backward class के reservation is there, national commissions are there to take care of them, national commission for SC, national commission for ST, backward class, even national human rights commissions are there. So these all policies for what? So that these sections should not get left behind. Correct or not? That growth should be inclusive growth. Any policy government is going to make, that policy should be equitable as well, inclusive actually. तो ये कैसे होगा? What are the tools we are having? तो tools के लिए क्या है हमारे पास? तो सबसे important tools we use, it is reservation. It is one of the tools. Correct? So reservation, it is not a discrimination. It is basically an affirmative actions of the government, because these sections, they are left behind. So we need to take care of them also. So through affirmative action, this reservation system has been employed actually. Second tool आपके पास क्या है? We can call financial inclusion. Correct? Jan Dhan Yojana. Correct? Every unbanked should be banked. Correct? Every unsecured should be secured. Correct? Everyone should get access to the financial system. That is JAM. Correct? Jan Dhan Yojana, Aadhaar card, direct transfer schemes. Okay? Trinity जिसको बोलते हैं. That is financial inclusions. Third is various social security benefit. Example ले सकते हो किसान, like किसान सम्मान निधि schemes, जिसमें 6,000 rupees transferred to the farmers each year. That is also a
इंक्लूसिव ग्रोथ के लिए, बिकॉज फार्मर्स दे आर फेसिंग लॉट ऑफ इश्यूज, करेक्ट. तो फार्मर्स क्या होता है कि दे आर नॉट गेटिंग द प्रॉपर एक्चुअली द इनकम दे डिजर्व एक्चुअली. फॉर एग्जाम्पल उनका जो कॉस्ट होता है, वट एवर द कॉस्ट, थ्रू दैट दे आर एक्चुअली रीपिंग देयर क्रॉप्स, they are not able to sell more than that price. So because of that, they are not able to earn money. So because of that, government is ready to pay around 6,000 rupees every year to those farmers. That is also comes under inclusive and equitable growth. Correct? इतना clear हो गया अभी? These are the examples, are there the policy examples. Next parameter for good governance is efficiency or efficient and effective government. जो गवर्नमेंट होनी चाहिए, दैट गवर्नमेंट शुड बी इफिशिएंट एंड इफेक्टिव. करेक्ट. अब इफिशिएंसी क्या होता है? इफिशिएंसी बेसिकली मींस आउटपुट अपॉन, बेसिकली यही कि आप कम इनपुट से मैक्सिमम आउटपुट यू कैन अर्न. लाइक एग्जांपल, एक आपके पास है फॉर एग्जांपल 10 crore rupees you are actually spending and you are able to build 2 school only. वहीं one more person is coming वो बोल रहा है 10 crore से I can build 3 school. तो ये ज्यादा बेटर है. Because with 10 crore rupees you are able to build 3 schools. That is called as efficiency. क्या efficiency only matters? Effective doesn't matter. Because effectiveness क्या है? We are going to check whether we need a school or not there. आप बस बिल्ड ही किए जा रहे हो. Correct? Or build कर भी दिया, for example, if I build the school, whether children are coming there or not. Even though children are coming there, whether teachers are available there or not. Even though teachers are available there, whether children are able to learn something there in the school or not. If children are not able to learn at all, that means that scheme is not effective. Correct or not? Effective means we need to get the desired result. That is effective. So क्या आपके लिए बेटर है, इफेक्टिवनेस और इफिशियंसी? Effectiveness is much better actually. Efficiency is also required. ऐसा नहीं you can just leave the efficiency. Why efficiency matter in India? Because resources are limited. Correct or not? ऐसा नहीं गवर्नमेंट के पास unlimited resources हैं तो efficiency का take care ही नहीं करना है. We can spend as much money as possible. So we need to take care of efficiency also. But उससे better importance है effectiveness. इसलिए अपने पास होता है एक बजट, इसको बोलते हैं आउटकम बजट. करेक्ट? आउटकम बजट. डिफरेंट मेथड्स ऑफ बजटिंग सिस्टम इज देयर. इसमें वन मेथड इज आउटकम बजट. आउटकम बजट क्या होता है कि वी आर गोइंग टू चेक कि वट एवर मनी वी आर गोइंग टू स्पेंड फॉर द एजुकेशन, वी आर गोइंग टू चेक whether proper learning environment is created for the children or not. ऐसा ना हो कि like example, a 8th standard student is not able to read the book of 5th standard, then what is the use of that spending money on education? No use. Correct or not? So that is outcome budgeting. Outcome budgeting में क्या होता है? They are going to check कि last time whatever money we have given and whatever desired results you were expecting, whether you have received or not. If you have not received, the next time I will not give you the money for this particular scheme. You have to change the scheme. Correct? That is efficient and effectiveness. So how we are going to set this efficiency and effectiveness? उसके लिए हमको क्या करना है? We need to evaluation of a scheme. Every time whenever we are running the scheme, there must be a third party system that is going to take the feedback, that is going to conduct the survey, and through this feedback and survey we will come to know whether that particular scheme is effective or not. I told you any policy successful or not, it depends on whether that scheme is politically acceptable है या नहीं, socially desirable है या नहीं, correct, financially viable है या नहीं, technical feasible है या नहीं, correct, judicial deniable है या नहीं, and administratable doable है नहीं. If these things are not there, then that scheme will going to be fail 100%. Correct? उसके बाद second is zero based budgeting. What is zero based budgeting basically? See, during budget formations, what they do actually, like example, there is a ministry there, like Department of Agriculture. आप ले लो agriculture ministry. Agriculture ministry ने क्या किया है कि लास्ट टाइम इन 2022 में जब बजट में, ओके, और 2023 अगेन, they have asked some money, like in 2022 में they have asked about 10,000 crore rupees, correct? उसके बाद क्या हुआ 2023 में again they start asking around 12,000 crore rupees because inflation is also there, so 10,000 will not be sufficient, 12,000 rupees next year. अभी क्या हुआ 2024 में क्या हुआ 2024 में again finance ministry is asking to the agriculture ministry how much money you need now, कितना मनी आपको चाहिए. तो फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री ने पूछा तो इन्होंने क्या किया कि लास्ट टाइम आई हैव आस्क्ड 12,000 crore rupees, 7% is the inflation, महंगाई दर, then we need to add that also. This time I need around 15,000 crore rupees and money has been allotted to them. अभी क्या कहते हैं जीरो बेस्ड बजटिंग में क्या होगा कि फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री इज गोइंग टू टेक कि लास्ट टाइम व्हाटएवर मनी वी हैव रिसीव्ड आई विल नॉट गोइंग टू कंसीडर दैट थिंग्स. व्हाई यू नीड 15,000 crore rupees today, tell me that. That means it is a zero based, matlab last time whatever money you have received I will consider that zero, start is zero. So this year you are asking 15,000 crore rupees, you have to explain where you are going to spend that 15,000 crore rupees and what will be the outcome for that 15,000 crore rupees. Whatever your desired results are there, everything you need to explain, then only this 15,000 crore rupees will be given to you. So this 15,000 crore rupees will not going to give you just because last time you have received 12,000 crore rupees. No, you have to give every information, every detail why you deserve 15,000 crore rupees now. That is called as zero based budgeting. समझ में आ गया? Zero based budgeting. Last time whatever the budget was there, it was zero. Right now, why you need that much money? You need to tell now. Yes, yes. See, zero-based budgeting is possible, definitely, but not for every department. Like example, Ministry of Home Affairs. Not even huge department. On what basis you will give the budget? Like police stations, they need money. On what basis you are going to give the money? Based on that performance. Performance means just this district. For example, police station mein very crime is very less. Then you are going to give more money to that as an award. अब how you are going to judge crime is less or not, कैसे आपको पता चलेगा? Through FIR copy. हम FIR ही नहीं लिखेंगे. I will not going to report the crime at all. So whenever any inspections will happen in my police station, the diary will be completely vacant, empty, कुछ भी लिखा ही नहीं है, clean है. आपको क्या लगेगा कि this police station is very good because in this police station there is no crime. But reality is something different. Reality is this, कि crime is there, but they are not reporting it. इसीलिए you have seen कि what they used to do is in police station, whenever you visit the police station, ना, they take the report in their own personal diary first. ताकि personal diary में लिखेंगे, if the report is the crime is very small, then they are going to solve within 2 to 3 days. It will not come into the legal book, correct or not? Then क्या होगा? ये बोला जाएगा कि this police station में crime is very less. So in this type of situation you cannot give budgeting based on zero based budgeting. Zero based budgeting is possible in health department, education department, but not in external affair minister or police, not possible, correct? ऐसे एक और third is outcome based budgeting. Outcome based budgeting. Outcome based budgeting में basically क्या है? They are going to check it कि number of children they are coming to the school or not, learning levels have been increased or not. Based on that they will going to give the budget, correct? So इससे ही आपका जो होगा that is efficient and effective utilization of resource will happen. और क्या हो सकता है आपको? Promotion of merit. Merit क्या होगा कि good peoples will going to be promoted, they will be at the various decision making area में, then they will definitely going to utilize the resource in better manner because they are the meritorious candidate, they can take a better decision. और क्या हो सकता है? For example, pay linked to performance. For example, we are paying the salary to the government employees. Sometimes क्या होता है कि basically government में क्या है कि if you are taking a decision, if you are take decisions, then chances are that the decision can be incorrect also, the decision can be correct also. It will come into notice only after some time. पहले आपको decision लेना है ना. If it is correct, decision was well, okay, then no one is going to give you any award. Correct. But if decision goes wrong, then you will be punished through CBI, correct? Through CVC, through court, correct or not? So this is problem India में क्या है? Problem India में ये 3C का है actually. India is facing 3C problem basically. 3C कौन सा है आपका? Court, CBI, CVC. ये लोग प्रॉब्लम करें इसकी, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट ब्यूरोक्रेट्स आर नॉट एबल टू टेक डिसीजंस इन प्रॉपर मैनर, बिकॉज दे आर हैविंग ए फियर इफ दे टेक डिसीजंस एंड डिसीजन गोज रॉन्ग देन दे आर गोइंग टू हाउंड देम. ये 3C तो कम थे, एक और C आ गया. देन सिविल सोसाइटी, दे स्टार्ट डूइंग प्रोटेस्ट, तो ये 4C हो गया. करेक्ट. So this is the cases. So if this pay is linked to the performance, that means those who are performing, they will be paid based on performance. Those who are not performing, they are not doing their duty, they will not be paid. Correct. इससे क्या होगा? Resource will going to be utilized in better manner. एक incentive system we can put it. Correct. Like example, for example, IAS. IAS basically क्या होता है आपका? I am solver. जो भी प्रॉब्लम लाओ, आई गोइंग टू सॉल्व इट, बट एक्चुअली हाउ दे आर वर्किंग, इफ यू गो टू देम दे विल से नो. करेक्ट. आप फॉर एग्जांपल यू रनिंग ए बिजनेस और स्टार्टअप, यू वांट ए लाइसेंस, यू आर विजिटिंग देम, दे विल से नो, ये तो नहीं हो पाएगा हमसे. बट यू आर नॉट देयर टू से नो, एक्चुअली you are there so that what are the regions are there, how we can actually make them happen. That is what IAS is, I am solver. But you are always saying that no. Correct. No, क्यों बोल रहे? Because you are showing your authority. Because when someone is saying no to you, then that person automatically becomes powerful. Correct or not? Like in family also, when father said no, then only it realized our father is powerful. When father every time accept actually yes, then the father is not powerful. Correct or not? Same they do actually. They always say no. Correct or not? But they are not for that purpose. So problem ये है कि even though they are taking decisions or not taking decisions, both are paid the same salary. Correct or not? Those who are performing well or not perform, both are getting the same salary. That means we are misusing our resources. That is the reason is our जो performance system pay linked to the performance. And next thing we can do is social audit. Through social audit, we can understand whatever the money that we have spent on particular scheme, whether it was required or not. Like example, Gram Pradhan ने क्या किया? एक road has been built up. Okay, पक्का road has been built up. Social audit हुआ. Yes, proper road was there. Okay, material was used properly, good. And whatever the money is required, that money is also spent properly. But गांव वालों ने बोला road was not required at all here. Because no house is there actually. Why do we need road at this particular area? Houses are this side, and you have built road that side. वहाँ पे no house is there, only one house is there. Correct? अब वो प्रधान जी का घर है ना? और यहाँ पे other गांव का घर है. You have not built up any road. So social audit में we will come to know about it only. Correct? So that is requirement of social audit. And next audit will be done by CAG, Comptroller Auditor General. They are going to do a normal audit actually, commercial audit. Clear हुआ? So अभी efficient and effective, both you understood properly the difference between efficient and effectiveness. Next will come under is parameter is rule of law. Rule of law. Correct? So rule of law basically क्या? It is also very important parameter है for us. Correct? For very important parameter for the governance system actually, because without rule of law governance is not possible actually. अगर rule of law है ही नहीं, because for example if rule of law is not there, then business will not going to be flourished. Correct? Like example, if law and order situation is bad, and because of that reason we have seen the investment is good in Maharashtra, in Tamil Nadu, in Karnataka state compared to any other state. You will see आप southern state की जैसे बात होती है sometimes, then Kerala is not that good, great for the investment purpose. Correct? यहीं पे Tamil Nadu same state just border share कर रहा है, very good investment is going on business community ka. Even Karnataka is also very good investment is going on. Maharashtra also, but not in Kerala. Reason is this: communism is there, trade unionism is there. So किसी को भरोसा ही नहीं, if they are open any industry over there, किसी भी time they start protesting, protest कर दिया वो कंपनी बंद करना पड़ेगा. So because of that the rule of law is not there. Same for example आप उत्तर प्रदेश and बिहार की बात करो, झारखंड की बात करो, again these states are not that considered as attractive states for the investment. Reason is this: missing this rule of law. अब वहीं for example अभी one same state like उत्तर प्रदेश, new government came, when this person came into power, when he was elected as a chief minister, then everyone was skeptical. Okay, this person definitely cannot handle the Uttar Pradesh, but this person only handle the Uttar Pradesh now. Correct or not? So this is the cases. Okay, and now come to the investment purpose. Then, for example, if you compare Uttar Pradesh 5 years before, then Uttar Pradesh rank was 9th position in investment, 9th, and today it is 2nd, only next to Maharashtra. Tamil Nadu became 3rd now. Correct or not? So that is the great investment. For example, when you compare in terms of like because ultimately airport is also one of the parameters. जैसे पता चलता है infrastructure is there or not. Maximum airports किस state में, for example, then used to be Maharashtra only, Karnataka में भी उतना नहीं है. Okay, now Uttar Pradesh, like example, if Maharashtra, for example, if you check it, then 6 or 7 airports are there. Uttar Pradesh is building 32 airports right now, and 9 already running operational. Correct or not? So 32 means आप समझ सकते हो 32 तो district नहीं है जहाँ, and they are running that many of airports. Like example, Prayagraj airports, they have built up within 2 years. 2 years में bus station नहीं build होता है. Correct or not? So that is the thing is कि same peoples, same state, only thing is जो सबसे ऊपर इंसान बैठा है वो बदल गया है. Otherwise देखो पुलिस same, bureaucracy भी तो same ही है. ऐसा नहीं bureaucracy changed, but only one person changed. Correct or not? So same, when it can be possible in that state, can be possible in any state then. Correct or not? So that is the cases. So rule of law is very, very important actually. So rule of law means impartial enforcement of law. Correct? Impartial enforcement of law. It means protection of human and fundamental rights. It simply means respect for the law. Okay, that means article number 14. Now, so how is it possible this rule of law? कैसे होगा अपने पास? Supremacy of, if someone accept, everyone is going to accept this thing, supremacy of the constitution. Correct? Then definitely rule of law will be there then. और कैसे होगा? Independence of judiciary. Constitutionalism, limited government, correct? Police reform, decriminalization of politics, correct? एक होता है क्रिमिनलाइजेशन ऑफ पॉलिटिक्स एंड वन टर्म इज पॉलिटिसाइजेशन ऑफ क्रिमिनल्स। क्या डिफरेंस है, समझ में आया? क्रिमिनलाइजेशन ऑफ पॉलिटिक्स, पॉलिटिसाइजेशन ऑफ क्रिमिनल्स, डिफरेंस है, बहुत सेम है? सेम तो पॉसिबल नहीं है, दोनों अलग ही है, करेक्ट? सो क्रिमिनलाइजेशन ऑफ पॉलिटिक्स मींस क्या होता है, जब क्रिमिनल्स दे आर डायरेक्टली पार्टिसिपेट करने लगे पॉलिटिक्स में, दे बिकेम एमएलए और एमपी, दैट इज क्रिमिनलाइजेशन ऑफ पॉलिटिक्स। समझ में आ गया? सो क्रिमिनलाइजेशन ऑफ पॉलिटिक्स मींस व्हेन क्रिमिनल्स दे पार्टिसिपेट इन द इलेक्शंस डायरेक्टली, they are not dependent on anyone, correct? They are not having any representative. Now they are themselves are representative peoples. Criminals, they enter into the politics. Politicization of criminals means when politicians hote hain, they start supporting criminals, correct or not? Ki whenever actually they, like example, they are doing any bad things, so they're helping them in their misdoing all these things, that is called as क्या होता है, पॉलिटिसाइजेशन ऑफ क्रिमिनल्स। ये क्या क्या ऑर्गेनाइज्ड क्राइम आप बोल सकते हो उसमें। और सी ऑर्गेनाइज्ड क्राइम इज डिफरेंट, बट व्हेन जो इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव दे हेल्प देम, दैट इज अ पॉलिटिसाइजेशन ऑफ क्रिमिनल्स। ऑर्गेनाइज्ड क्राइम विल बी देयर एनीवेयर, चाहे यूएसए हो, कहीं पे भी हो। ऑर्गेनाइज्ड क्राइम क्या होता है, जब मोर देन 2, 3, 4 पीपल्स टुगेदर देन दे डू द क्राइम इन प्रॉपर, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज ऑर्गेनाइज्ड क्राइम। क्लियर? So, जैसे ड्रग कार्टल्स, ऑर्गेनाइज्ड क्राइम, करेक्ट? फेक करेंसी, ऑर्गेनाइज्ड क्राइम, करेक्ट? नेक्स्ट इज इलेक्टोरल रिफॉर्म। I think all the parameters we have discussed here. Next is, why do we need good governance? क्यों चाहिए आपको, करेक्ट? So, क्यों चाहिए? Reason is it will help in better utilization of resources, correct? Ensure better of resources, correct? It actually ensures better utilization of resources, sustainable development possible with good governance, it check corruptions, correct? Ensure real democracy, और ये डेमोक्रेसी क्या, डेमोक्रेसी तो डेफिनेटली हर जगह ही है, मैक्सिमम प्लेसेस पे है। अभी मेजोरिटी ऑफ द कंट्रीज में वी आर हैविंग अ डेमोक्रेसी ओनली। डेमोक्रेसी में क्या होता है, फॉर एग्जांपल फुल डेमोक्रेसी एक होता है, फुल फ्लॉड डेमोक्रेसी भी होता है, हाइब्रिड रिजिम भी होता है, एंड अथॉरिटेरियन रिजिम। 4 टाइप्स के होते हैं स्टेट। अगर देखो फुल डेमोक्रेसी मतलब कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, पीपल्स पार्टिसिपेशन है, इलेक्शंस है, लोगों को कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, गुड गवर्नेंस के जो पैरामीटर्स हैं दे आर वेल अवेलेबल देयर, दैट इज फुल डेमोक्रेसी। दिस इज फ्लॉड डेमोक्रेसी, दिस इज हाइब्रिड रिजिम, दिस इज ऑथोरिटेरियन रिजिम, करेक्ट? एग्जाम्पल देखा, एग्जाम्पल फुल डेमोक्रेसी एग्जाम्पल्स स्कैंडिनेवियन कंट्रीज जो होते हैं, यूरोपियन कंट्रीज जो है, स्कैंडिनेवियन कंट्रीज, स्वीडन, डेनमार्क, कनाडा, अभी कनाडा का नाम मत रखो, दिक्कत में है बहुत, ठीक है, नहीं तो कनाडा आल्सो इंक्लूडेड अंडर फुल डेमोक्रेसी। फ्लॉट डेमोक्रेसी क्या होता है, फॉर एग्जांपल कि जहां पे फॉर एग्जांपल इलेक्शंस आर कंडक्टेड प्रॉपर्ली, रूल ऑफ लॉ इज आल्सो देयर, बट फिर भी क्या होता है, समटाइम्स एक्टिविस्ट का इशू आ जाता है, फॉर एग्जांपल मीडिया इज नॉट दैट फ्री समटाइम्स, राइट और नॉट, सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज फ्लॉट डेमोक्रेसी। एग्जांपल इंडिया, India will come under flawed democracy. USA will come under flawed democracy actually. USA भी फुल डेमोक्रेसी में नहीं है, फ्लॉड में आता है बाय स्कोर, ठीक है। हाइब्रिड में क्या होता है, हाइब्रिड इन द सेंस पता ही नहीं है कब डेमोक्रेसी कब नहीं है, समटाइम्स इट इज डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री, समटाइम्स इट इज अथॉरिटेरियन कंट्री, एग्जांपल पाकिस्तान, ठीक है, एंड अथॉरिटेरियनिज्म सऊदी अरेबिया, इवन रसिया ऑल्सो, रसिया को भी नहीं समझते हैं, उसको भी अथॉरिटेरियनिज्म में डालते हैं। So it is basically based on democratic index. एक index होता है democracy index. In that index, I have told you actually this thing. Examples. So India is flawed democracy. हाँ? Full democracy आपको Scandinavian countries like Sweden, Denmark, Norway, Finland. Correct? क्योंकि उनको लड़ने से फुर्सत कहाँ है, they are fighting with the environment only. Yes. Yes, but USA may be a lot of other like civil rights sometimes happen, racism is there, gun shots are there, that is the reason flawed democracy. ठीक है, ensures real democracy, gender empowerment, अगर good governance है then gender empowerment will be there. Next, promote respect for the law. अगर good governance है, it going to promote the respect for the law. Correct? People's participation in empowerment. बेसिकली क्या है कि जो अपना प्रेमबल है, प्रेमबल उसमें लिखा है जस्टिस, सोशल, इकोनॉमिक एंड पॉलिटिकल जस्टिस दैट विल सेट अप एक्चुअली थ्रू दिस preamble, in the sense justice, social, economic and political justice, it will be set up only after good governance. इंडिया को समटाइम्स हम लोग सॉफ्ट स्टेट भी बोलते हैं। सॉफ्ट स्टेट क्या होता है? सॉफ्ट स्टेट बेसिकली इज दैट स्टेट कि दैट हैज पावर टू मेक द लॉ। देखो एक तो प्रॉब्लम उस स्टेट में होता है कि स्टेट इज नॉट एबल टू मेक द लॉ इवन, क्योंकि माफिया का इतना राज है कि they are not aligned to make the law even against them. But India में ऐसा नहीं है, we will able to make a strict law also, but we were not able to implement it. That is called as soft state action. Correct? Implement नहीं है because we have zero respect for the law. तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल क्या होता है कि आपकी जितनी ताकत है आप वही लॉ रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करोगे। अगर कोई लॉ आपसे ऊपर निकल गया देन यू आर गोइंग टू रिस्पेक्ट दैट लॉ ओनली। जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप एक्यूज करोगे, आपका जो एरिया एमएलए है या कोई भी है ना, he is not respecting some law, correct, criminal law, लेकिन आप भी हो जब सिग्नल पे जाते हो, रेड लाइट हो गया, आप इधर उधर देखे कोई भी नहीं है, निकल लिए, करेक्ट, तो यू आर आल्सो नॉट रिस्पेक्टिंग द लॉ। तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू आर अगेंस्ट द करप्शन, कि सब लोग करप्शन कर रहे हैं, यू आर अगेंस्ट द करप्शन बिकॉज यू आर नॉट गेटिंग अपॉर्चुनिटी टू डू द करप्शन, करेक्ट है ना? ऐसा तो नहीं कि आप इथिकली या चाहते हो करप्शन ना हो, आपको मौका नहीं मिल रहा है, बस जब आपको मिलेगा तो आप भी इसमें मजे करोगे, करेक्ट है कि नहीं? So this is the things we are going to achieve through the good governance, right? Then will come dimensions of good governance. So there was one report was there, it's called DARPG report. इन्होंने एक रिपोर्ट दिया था बेसिकली स्टेट ऑफ गवर्नेंस. Report title was State of Governance a framework of assessment. This report. This was the title of the report. Department of Administrative Reform and Public Grievances, basically. Correct? So they have given this report. इस report में they have given some dimensions of good governance. जिसमें 5 around dimensions they have given. Some dimensions they have given, like example, political, legal and judicial, social and environmental, economical, and administrative. These are the 5 dimensions are there. Question can be asked, what are the dimensions of the good governance and what are the issues associated with it? Elaborate. Question can be asked this way. You can write the questions also. What are the dimensions of good governance? What are the dimensions of the good governance? And issues associated with it. And issues associated with it. Elaborate. What are the dimensions of good governance and issues associated with it? Elaborate. So, like political dimension is there. Political dimensions में क्या है? What type of political parties are there? How they are contesting the elections? Whether free and fair elections are there or not? Whether people's participation is there or not? Whether people's faith in the political parties and election process is there or not? That is called as political dimensions. Right? So, political can include it free and fair elections. Correct? Political parties participation also. ऐसा not only one political party is involved like China. Any political party or even independent candidate can participate in the election process. And people's faith or trust in the political process or election process. That is called as political dimensions. Clear? So next will come legal and judicial dimensions. So under legal and judicial dimensions, basically ability of the state to maintain law and order. Ability of the state. So under it will come legal and judicial. Ability of the state to maintain the law and order. Correct? Safeguard of human rights. Safeguard of the human rights. Enable access and delivery of justice. Enable access and delivery of justice. It will also come under it. Enable access and delivery of justice. Correct? Independence of the judiciary. Independence of the judiciary. enable access and delivery of justice, so that everyone can access the justice actually. अभी प्रॉब्लम इंडियन जुडिशल सिस्टम में क्या और एवरीवेयर कि जुडिशरी इज वेटिंग फॉर यू, यू हैव टू कम देयर, देन ओनली दे विल लिसन यू. इफ यू आर नॉट गोइंग देयर, कि वहां पे रोड ब्लैक हो गया कि नो वन इज और समवन इज नॉट अलाउइंग यू टू गो टू द कोर्ट. अब कुछ, अब समवन कौन हो सकता है? एनी पर्सन, करेक्ट? इवन फाइनेंशियल इश्यूज, योर ओन रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज. अभी जुडिशरी इज नॉट गोइंग टू यू एक्चुअली, आपसे पूछने नहीं जा रहा है ना कि what problems you are facing, I will help you. We want that actually, so that access to the justice system is possible. अब इसमें क्या social and environmental dimension, ability of the state to take care of vulnerable sections, ability of the state to take care of vulnerable sections. Right? Quality of civil service, that also will come under it only. Quality of civil service, not civil service, quality of civil society, quality of civil society and media, quality of civil society and the media, respect for the environmental law, respect for the environmental law. Clear? So that is social and environmental dimensions. अब आते हैं इकोनॉमिकल. सो इकोनॉमिक डायमेंशंस क्या हो सकते हैं? इकोनॉमिक डायमेंशंस, मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक स्टेबिलिटी, मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक स्टेबिलिटी लाइक प्रॉपर इन्फ्लेशन, करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट, फिस्कल डेफिसिट, करेक्ट? Indian currency convertibility, all these things should be there. Macroeconomic stability, ease of doing business, that private sectors can participate, ease of doing business, ease of doing business, regulatory role of the state, whether the state is able to regulate or not, regulatory role of the state, that come under economic dimensions. Correct? Now comes to administrative dimensions. So administrative dimensions में क्या आएगा? To manage financial, human and technical resources. To manage under this administrative dimensions, to manage financial, human and technical resources. Delivery, next, delivery of public service, that also comes under administrative dimensions. Delivery of public service, whether they are able to deliver or not. So ये तो हो गए dimensions आपके. So dimensions clear है. If these things are there, then good governance के chances are there. Correct? जो पहले पढ़े थे, जो 8 points we have covered, that is given by World Bank. The 8 points we have covered, given by the World Bank, and these are the points given by the our own government, correct? DARPG. They have given this 5 dimensions. Clear? More or less both are common. अगर आप देखो, more or less both are common only. अब आता है issues क्या है? What are the issues we are facing here? Is so issues में ऐसे ही मानेंगे political issues, legal and judicial issues, social and economic, environmental, economic and administrative issues. तो first is political issues क्या है अपने इधर इंडिया में. So इंडिया में political issues आपके पास क्या है? What is first problem is criminalization of politics. जो issues हैं, first issue you will get this criminalization of politics, political issues. Correct? Criminalization of politics, misuse of political power. Correct? Decentralization, more in letter, less in spirit. Decentralization, more in letter, less in spirit. That means लिख दिया है कि decentralization इसमें local self government, like power and functions decentralizations, financial power decentralization it has not been done. Next will come legal and judicial issues. प्रॉब्लम क्या है यहाँ पे? डिलेड जस्टिस, बोल दें जस्टिस डिलेड, जस्टिस डिनाइड. करेक्ट? इशू ऑफ अंडर ट्रायल्स, issue of under trials, lack of accountability in judiciary, lack of accountability in judiciary. Now social and environmental issues. Social and environmental issues. Denied of basic services, public services to vulnerable sections. Discrimination, based on caste, religion, reason, etc. Environmental pollution and climate change. Correct? Next is economic issues. Mismanagement of economy, fiscal imbalance, like example debt, regional disparities, administrative issues, regional disparities. lack of sensitivity, transparency, and accountability. Bureaucratic delays, or we can call red tapeism. Resistance to change, corruption, so these are the issues associated with the dimensions of good governance. So your answer is complete now. Correct. So now that means answer you can write easily. ये तो लिख ही लिया आपने. एक्सप्लेन नहीं करना है आपको ये सारी चीजें. गुड गवर्नेंस जो भी होगा means क्वेश्चन में you should not explain too much. लाइक ब्यूरोक्रेटिक डिले में आप 4 लाइन भर दिए हो, आपने ऑलरेडी डिले कर दिया आंसर लिखते समय. करेक्ट. ऐसा नहीं करना है. एक वर्ड एक लाइन, दैट इज मोर देन इनफ. Because this is not an essay paper actually. Essay paper में have to take care of language. This is means का है, आप just one point लिख दो, that's more than enough. वो सिर्फ आपके पॉइंट काउंट करेगा, 10 पॉइंट्स हो गए, करेक्ट है, then he will give the marks. Okay, thank you for today. This अभी I think after this कब है class? 2 o'clock. ठीक है. Then again, because one more topic is there under these aspects of governance, we will going to finish that also.